You're
listening to the RFBL Report with your hosts, Bear and Matt Downsky.
I only realised when I was up in Wolverhampton, the New Forest owner is an absolute cuck.
Truly, the rich get richer.
Juice, because I only drink juice.
We got some typical Peking bullshit.
Here comes 5th place New Forest.
He's cagey, he gets on base, he's a consummate pro.
Warning, things are about to get weird.
Greetings, salutations, I am the Knight. It's the RFBL Report with myself, Matt Downsky, and my comrade in arms from across the Atlantic. The one, the only.
Yes, a warrior Bear.
Yeah, it's Bear.
Yes, Bear.
You might notice something different about my normally smooth tones. But, I have a bit of a thing going on. It's been about a week, taking a couple COVID tests. Still coming up negative, but we'll try to muscle through this. It's been a while, hey Bear? We missed an entire off-season. We had our champions from Peking. Didn't take the easy way, because they were like a wild card team and won the championship.
And we in Peking never do it the easy way, let's be honest with you.
Yeah, I can never do it the easy way. But we got a bit of a season preview, a little bit of a preview of what's going on with the league. And got some hot takes, I'm sure.
Definitely some hot takes.
Oh yeah, there's some hot takes. And then, if we still have time at the end, I'll read some monologues. It'll be fun.
Batman.
I'm the hero the city needs me to be. Like, Rorschach's journal. So 3 up. We're gonna do a 3 up, 3 down format. We don't have time to talk to everybody. My voice is not gonna hold up for all of it, so we'll just push through that. We'll do some ups and downs, see what's going on. We're about 24 games into the season right now. There's been some surprises. I think our ups and downs kind of held regardless of this. I don't think 24 games is enough of a sample size. We can't look at that and go, Kim is the best player in the RFBL. We know there's things that have come up in the first 20 games that are not going to be season-long trends. We know there's some teams that are going to improve their standing, and there's some teams that are going to fall off. But, did you want to start with some ups and downs, Bear, or should I start with something?
I can start.
All right.
If you want and smoke it.
Yeah.
Smoke a sense of me.
I'll sit here and I'll sip. Oh, there we go.
Dip away. Right. So we have the same one for the ups. It's pretty obvious. Peaking. I think the Scotia division might have got slightly weaker, which might enable.
No, go on. I'm sorry. I'll keep the commentary to a minimum.
I feel like it might open the league up for Peking, and I think also Peking have also improved as well. I think Peking have actually been quite unlucky in the past few seasons.
I would agree with that.
As much as everybody likes to chat, meme the Peking BS. Peking have actually been pretty unlucky and are actually finally getting the results that they're supposed to get, as shown in the postseason last year.
Yeah, I think we can agree that last year they weren't your normal wildcard team. There were a lot of reasons to like Peking. They had some injuries early on. They had a couple guys have inexplicably bad seasons. I want to say Alvarado going from a Holland Trophy winner to about replacement, maybe a little below in some ways last year, was a heck of a trip. He's not pitching at a Holland level right now, but he's pitching quite well. So there's been a couple of those. One of the things that came about last year was Martinius Anderson's coming out. He was very strong. He's pitching good again this year. Like that's a big piece. And in having a guy like Reinhold Becker step up last year and be like a quasi rookie of the year candidate in a lot of ways, having him come back this year, even if he's not playing like he did last year, He gives them another lefty in the rotation and let them make some other moves. So they were able to trade at the beginning of the year, upgraded their infield, which was a weak spot last year. They acquired Carlos Aguilar last year to try to help them win the championship, which it worked. And he's off to a torrid start. He looks like Renaissance Aguilar, but still another 4 years after that one, after this year on the contract. I don't think it was ever about the first year. I think it was about longer term. But having that extra pitching depth allowed them to trade Mike Arias to move some money out for money in and upgrade at third base, where they've been able to add Bonacorsi, who again is off to a really hot start. Lengthens out their lineup a little bit, gives them another good defensive player in the infield. It's going to help out their pitching overall. And even if we can agree that they were unlucky last year, and they're probably, when I say probably, they are fraudulently lucky this year. They've played 24 games and they have 11 one-run games. They're 10-1 in those games. Like, there's reason to think that they could regress somewhat from where they're at right now, but they're still probably, in my opinion, the best team in the league. Yeah, that team's trending up, at least for now. We'll worry about their payroll situation later, but right now, they are definitely trending up. They've traded a lot of prospects. They've traded a lot of picks. They traded a 2045 first and a pretty good prospect in Jinsu Lee, a second-round pick to get Bonacorsi, and to move Mike Arias' salary out. So they've made some pretty aggressive moves. It's paid off so far. We'll see how that goes. It's a long season, but definitely a threat to take that division, take that league, take the championship. I think given some of the struggles that others have had, some of those elite teams at the top, Pyongyang being one, the Monkeys being another, they've had some injury issues, they've had some performance issues, there's some aging involved in those. Halifax, another team that's aging quite a bit. Sunnyvale, not off to a great start, aging a little bit as well, though they've been mixing in some younger players to try to keep that window open longer term. So, like, you can see some of the moves that Sunnyvale's making, but that's another veteran team. I think Peking has a leg up on everybody right now. We'll see how long the BS can be endured. Do we want to just do 3 ups and then do 3 downs, or do we want to alternate, or what do you like?
Yeah, we can go 3 ups.
All right.
We'll just do 3 ups and then just go
All right.
We'll do
So
3
we
downs.
both had Peking on our list, so do you want to give me your second one?
So, Rain City.
Why is Rain City? Hit me with it, man.
I'm just generally a big fan of just Rain City in general. I think their batting is probably one of the best now in the Virgin League.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
In my opinion, the stats don't lie, mate. I mean, they have Zachary Diaz, who's not even actually. He started very. Last year was pretty. It was good. The year before, it was basically MVP. If not, I think he was MVP.
He definitely was MVP. You can drop the basically off of that. He was the MVP.
he was the MVP in 2041, and he's already off to a hot start in 2043. Like, the man's already hit 8 home runs in 24 games.
Seems okay.
I feel like the infield for Rain City will carry him, and then he's got the outfield, which is pretty defensive, you know?
Yeah, I think he had a point there where he just went like, I can't get anyone that can hit. I'll just run defensive guys and I'll let the infielders hit.
Which I don't think is not a too bad balance if it works for you, and I think it'll work out for Rain City. Like, it'll help their pitching.
Yeah, I got a couple questions about the pitching though, like how it's going to hold up over time. Like, Raymond Werfel is a stud. I really like Raymond Werfel. I think Jose Cervantes is pretty good as well. There's been some good results for Jose Cervantes. He's been there for a while for a guy that's only 31, but he's fragile. I think you and I both liked Kilbikov. He seems to have settled in a mid-rotation role once again. But like John Audio, you always want more out of him. I think we know that he's not particularly good at this point. He's had 1 year where you could say that he was all right. I don't know if I believe in Ryu, but as a number 5 guy, like he's a number 5 starter. I'm not going to beat up a team for the number 5 starter. The bullpen looks pretty scary right now. Like, I don't know how much I believe in Bagshaw to be a real shutdown reliever. I don't know if Masahiro Kobayashi is, he seems like a perfectly cromulent member of the bullpen. Like, same with Hagelin. Like, there's a lot of guys that seem all right in that bullpen. I just don't know if there's anybody that's going to lead the way. You know what I mean? Seems like a real collection of middle relief types, and I don't know if they're going to get squeezed in one-run games a bit. I mean, like, as the GM for Castlegar bullpen's always it's a meme at this point, right? But I honestly think Rain City may struggle with some one-run games later on. But I do agree with you. The offense looks tight. The infield looks good. If they could liquidate some of their excess infield to get an outfielder that can handle the bit, could help out a lot and go towards locking in that spot.
I think either an outfielder can hit or shore up the bullpen, you know? Make the bullpen a bit more viable. I'm not too worried about the rotation. I think the rotation's pretty solid.
No doubt. Like, I said one guy that I really think is not really somebody you can count on. But, like, it should be, they can round out that rotation.
Yeah, I think it just maybe a couple. I don't know what I can't remember what their budget is like over there. But I'm sure they got assets they can move in order to improve and the budget to improve in one way or another in order to make that final step, because the Monkeys are slowly crumbling, you know, and there's no real big competitor in the Virgin League other than the Monkeys and maybe the Sunnyvale.
Are you saying that there might be perhaps a free wild card?
There might be a free wild card.
Might be a free wild card in the VL. You heard it here first, folks. But, like, we are definitely seeing a year where there's some transition in the standings. Some teams are...
For 1 year only, though.
For 1 year only. We'll touch on that a little bit later on. But, yeah. Rain City, reasonable bet. I think, to me, they're more of a holding pattern. Like, I don't see what the up is, because it's the same team as last year, to me.
I feel like they've grown a little bit older, and because they're not too old. Let's be honest, they're quite middle-aged, so they got quite a reasonable time to work with this core.
Yeah, I guess I see most of the contributors that they've got in their lineup. Like, they lost a pretty good catcher with Acuna moving on. I don't think that Veal Almqvist is really the guy. He seems like a perfectly cromulent quote glove guy, but I don't know that he's going to be much better. Same thing with Rosario. Rosario looks like he might hit a home run or two, but it's just an adequate placeholder glove guy. So catcher has gotten worse. You start looking, Blaze Alexander has not played like he did when he was good, really good. He's 29. I don't know if we can expect him to be more than just a glove at this point. Kang in the outfield. He had his first, he had a pretty alright year last year. Would have played a full year, he would have hit 40 bombs. He's pacing for 40 again this year. He's pretty alright, but he's 29 again. Tofting's 29, Dees is 29, Kroger's 29, Kim's 32. They do have some young players they're trying to break in. Brian Quinn, 24, is one of them. They've been trying to break in some middle infielders to youthen the lineup a little bit, but they're younger than Sunnyvale. They're younger than Halifax or Minneapolis, but I don't think Rain City's young anymore. Likewise, I think they're a lot more proven than some other rosters. I certainly don't see New Jersey, Hannibal, Springfield finishing above them. Sunnyvale could have a strong run. And at this point too, just to note, the standings, we're talking it's 3 games between first and 6th in a division.
I mean, that's just Cold War in a nutshell.
Yeah, I found it hard to have ups or downs in this division. Because who knows what's going to happen. I think...
It's an absolute shit show of a division.
Yeah. If I'm looking at this division, who's actually trending up, I think that Kirkland is trending up a little bit just because they've had a bit of a rotating cast with some of the free agents. And like Cho had an off year last year. I know he was merely a very good reliever, but he's back and looking good. Some of the injured players that they had are back into the rotation. Like, there's reason to be optimistic about Kirkland a little bit here. I think Sunnyvale's better than they've shown so far. And again, like, they can smack the crap out of that ball. They're only 6th in runs scored early on. Like, I expect them to be a threat offensively. Springfield, I don't believe in them. Like, I don't think this team's that good. I think they've got one real good hitter and one legacy guy in Velazquez. Like, that's a Hall of Famer. But the future, they've got a lot of really good pitching prospects in the system. I think that's a team that, if it's overperforming now, maybe they're a little bit like Trav Dondo last year, where they have some young players that are breaking through and able to contribute. And like, I'm looking at their rotation, they got a couple early 20-year-olds there that are really, and just to make it super confusing, they got 2 Takeshitas, so that's always good. 4 or 5 starters, Takeshita, baby.
That's the bad as the bloody Martinez, isn't it?
Exactly. The Monkeys and their Martinez. The Isotopes and their Takeshitas.
Every team has those, eventually have their combinations.
Me, I got Kims. I got Kims out the wazoo. I have so many Kims.
I don't even know what I have.
I have Ji-Hoo Kim, who's a reliever. I have Jung-Hoon Kim, who's an outfielder. And then I had injuries, and I was looking to recall the top guy, the top outfielder, like the Sukmin Kim, and I was like, wait, I cannot have 2 right fielders named Kim. I can't do it. It's going to confuse me.
Oh, I have Parks, mate.
Yeah, so you got Parks. Everybody has a name they like to hone in on. But yeah, let's move to our next one.
Alright, you got Newfoundland.
I have Newfoundland. It doesn't look good so far. But I mean, like, I think Newfoundland has a lot of offensive talent, and I think they are trying to match their lineup with their park. So, like, Nicholas Larson did not have an amazing first season. He's already exceeded his value from last year in 20 games this year. I think Visa is another good player. He had an excellent year last year. I don't know if he's going to reach those heights again at age 31, but he's very good. He's breaking through with Keon Hayes, former first-round pick. Like, this dude's got nothing left to prove in AAA. He's been a 115-ish plus OPS plus hitter for a few years in AAA. Like, I think this lineup is definitely rounding out. They got more depth. They're actually using multiple catchers. Like,
that's a good start.
It is a good start, right? The pitching, I don't know if the pitching is going to hold up. Like, it hasn't looked good so far.
Yes. The pitching looks very sketchy.
They are breaking in Christopher Mahler as a rookie, pretty highly touted rookie. I think when I was looking at them earlier, I think Roberto Martinez, who's been a little injury prone of late, he's doing a rehab stint in AAA. They still have Alexandra Slesser. They still have Dave Bent, like guys that could come up and make a potential impact. I think Bernard Oliver could be a cromulent placeholder. Good character guy. Like, I don't know. There's some pitchers that I think will be en route to help this team. I think that some of the teams in this, like some of the younger teams, are making a move up the standings. I think Newfoundland's one. I think Kiev with their rebrand, Sharp New Jerseys, that's another one that I think can make some moves. I think Trav Beach. The results haven't come early on, but they made some huge steps forward last year. Interested to see where they end up going this year.
Yeah. Some of the lower end teams, like the Men, the Growlers, the Woodcocks, the Nails, they're all making quite big strides. Springfield as well, Kiev.
Yeah.
I
also have to note that a lot of these teams are, I don't think they've recalled their best players yet for, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, learning to bunt using outfield defense.
Yes. Practicing bunting.
Yeah, practicing bunting. I think there's a lot of players that are practicing bunting and haven't quite.
I think they called him today. This morning. Let's have a look. Yesterday, they did it. Yes, some of them have done it yesterday.
There you go.
In the most recent sims.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've said our little piece. Like, Newfoundland's results haven't been strong yet, but I think there's reason to be optimistic about some of the bottom-feeding teams, or the historic bottom-feeding teams. So, the teams that have been long playoff locks, you're on notice.
Right. So my last one is the Woodcuts. Everybody knows I'm a big fan of the
Go off,
Woodcuts.
King.
Love the Woodcuts.
I love the chaotic energy.
Oh, I thrive of their chaotic energy.
Oh no.
It's what makes these function. But they've got quite a lot of youngsters that they're proven in. Is the best word to say.
Well, they have to, right?
They are the Bears of the Virgin League.
I will note
They are chaotic.
some of their guys that you're like, why does that guy have 12 years of experience at age 27? That doesn't make sense. Some of those guys, they just started when they were brought into the league. They just had guys like Victor Castaneda who looked too good to send down at that point. You know, like,
Oh yeah.
he was only 18, but like,
Why would you send him down when he's already ready
he
to
was
play?
like a 45 contact, 65 power, 55 eye kind of player at age 18. So of course the Woodcocks used him. He hit 20 bombs. He hasn't really hit his ultimate upside, but
I mean, like, some of their like they seem to like have the bear mentality of putting players in the major league rather than waiting until like they're basically at their full potential. They're 2.5 stars. They look decent. They can do a job. Chuck them in.
chuck him in, see what
500.
happens.
Chuck them in. See what happens. You never know. You know, I'm a big fan of that approach, and it seems to be working reasonably well this year for him. To
I
be
know
honest.
you love that approach.
Like Mike Plum started pretty strongly at first base.
Neil is playing better.
Dong.
Like that shortstop that we were like, that guy looks like he's better than he should be. Like he
Yeah.
looks like he should be better than what he's producing. Jeff Mark is not having a good year again. Womp womp.
Yeah, that is the downside for the Woodcuts. But we'll go over that and pretend it doesn't exist.
Oh yeah.
Let's look at the good things about the Woodcuts. You know,
Their offense is going off.
like Dong is already 1.1 WAR. He's hitting an OPS plus of 142. The guy is 22 and is barely even reached his like full potential as well.
I'm sure his 440
You know?
BABIP will hold.
Yeah, of course it will. You know, like it's the Woodcuts. They get to play Beijing for like 12 times a year or something.
I
Don't
will
they?
say,
So
I do like, we're still doing phrasing. I was about to say, I do like Dong. Chang Dong. I do think he's a pretty good player.
yeah, you have to be careful about that one because if someone cuts it and just
yeah.
leaves an "I love Dong" and,
Oh, yeah.
and sends it off, mate.
That's part of our new intro, didn't you know?
Oh,
I think Chow Yang Dong is pretty good. I think he's a pretty good player. I think he's probably not as bad as he was last year offensively in limited time. So, like, I would expect him to be a contributor. All right, whatever. I'll agree with you. Whatever. The Woodcocks are fun.
the Woodcuts. I love the Woodcuts, but I feel like they do actually have like pretty good potential. Like they can move up Medina. If they're a bear, if they're truly in the bear mentality, they might move up Young Hoon Lee from the AAA. You know,
Yeah.
that guy can do some work as a starter. They got a couple decent relievers in the system. Richard Jones, 23 years old, also in the AAA, round 20 pick. Probably can do a decent job as a starter. And also, the best news of all for the Woodcuts. Guess what the major thing is?
I don't know. You tell me.
It's the last year of Ironmonger's
Oh,
contract.
get real.
It's the final year of a 26 million contract, and so the Woodcocks are going to have a 26 minimum of having a clear 26 million dollars of budget.
Hey, do you like getting chaotic? Because I think we're gonna get chaotic next off season.
Oh, I love
26
chaos.
million
Chaos
budget.
is what
Oh
I love.
baby, oh baby, it's happening.
But they also have on Goose on 9.4 million. Doesn't look the prettiest at the moment to me. So that's another that's 9.5 million. That's Woodcock's going to have 35.5 million minimum to throw around if they keep the current budget. You know.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I am laughing that he's got like a lot of players. There's a lot of players designated for assignment. Chaos. Like what? There's
Chaos.
Anyways,
My favorite thing about the Woodcocks as well is, if you look into their 40-man rotation, there's a 22-year-old one-star pitcher that's 3.5-star potential in their in that 40-man roster earning minimum wage.
what? Hold on, let's see this guy.
Tsutomi Iguchi. He's in the AAA of the Woodcocks.
Oh, he's
This is why I love the Woodcocks, man. They are literally like the Canadian American version of me, you know.
well.
Don't give a fuck. Just do what you feel is good, you know.
Yeah, well, he's burning those. He's getting that guy in, and he's pitched. I don't know, man.
He's gonna get him to ARB and then sign him on ARB
He's been,
for like £1 million for 10 years, and he's gonna be fucking thriving. You know, he's gonna be like Mustard Man from Boston.
he's got a lot of starting upside, but like the thing is the changeup hasn't changed. So like it's one of those things where you're like, oh, he's played a little bit of the bigs, and then you look and you're like, that pitch is not developed at all.
Oh yeah.
Anyways,
But-
let's do our next up.
Well, at least he'll be a reliever at a minimum, you know. So it'd be a solid stopper, I guess. Stopper, middle reliever. If the changeup doesn't.
Oh yeah, he
increase,
should
you
be
know?
perfectly. Like I like the hold runners. He's got some stamina. He's a good player. He's got a personality class that I like. Good control already. Like there's a lot of reasons to like this player. Anyways,
So yeah, I believe in the Woodcocks. The Woodcocks are the future.
all right, cool. Who's your next up? Or my next up? My next up.
Your
Holy
next
crap!
up.
It's my
Yeah,
turn.
it's
I
your
get to
next up.
talk. Yeah.
Yeah, you get to talk,
All
mate.
right. I'm just kidding. I've been talking this whole time. Montreal. I'm picking Montreal as an up. And the reason I'm picking Montreal as an up is because they're playing great. They have the same lineup. They're entirely healthy right now. The same flaws exist, but like, I think the division around them is worsening. I think Halifax, I think Minneapolis are getting older. Beijing, I don't know what Beijing is. I don't know where they're going to land eventually, but like, I don't think they're in the same tier, and I don't think Isle of Man or Woodcocks are in the same tier, even with Fukyun. I think the Isle of Man is struggling a bit with injuries. They've lost a lot of guys out of that rotation. I don't know if they've got the organizational depth to just drop a dude in there. Like I'm looking at AAA, and it looks dire. It looks very dire.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're already on dropping 2 guys from AAA in there. That's not ideal. We're 20 games in. So yeah, I think Montreal is more about their standing steady while everybody else is worsening. So that's my up for them, is that I think this could be a season where they don't have to worry about fading badly in the second half. Oh no, I've done it. That was the kiss of death. What was I thinking?
The Ducks.
Yeah, no, they're fucked now. But like, I just think they're playing good. They had a good roster. It was good enough to make it last year. Hasn't gotten any worse. Some of the players are performing good early on. Like I don't expect Wiyuna to continue up at this rate. But like Villarreal was an inspired addition last year. Sermeno made a difference for them. Yeah, Kevin Jeffries, not the best start in the world, but he was a revelation last year. They got some good pieces in place, and hopefully, for them anyways, they can ride that starting pitching. Stop looking at Twitter, Bear.
I'm listening.
I know,
Like,
I know. I'm ready to throw to your first down.
But yeah, I agree. I think Montreal are probably going to win the Heroes Spamming Division. More, at least challenge the Monkeys. I think we've been saying for many weeks or many years, depending on if you believe game time or real life time. It depends how much you live in the game. The Monkeys and Halifax are getting old, and eventually, one day they're gonna get too old, and the division's gonna get weaker. Like the Isle of Man, slowly getting there, but it's the Isle of Man. Who the fuck knows what's gonna happen to them? Beijing bullshit, you know. The luck of the Chinese teams, that you never know what they're going to be doing half the time. So yeah, I can see why you believe the Expos are going to go up.
I think the Monkeys still end up finishing ahead of them, but I think they've got a pretty reasonable shot of really locking in that second seed and waiting for that next team to leave. I will note, it's kind of weird that they've got so many guys named Martinez, and none of them can stay healthy. Like Luis Martinez, the one they molested out of Hannibal. He's under contract for a few more years, and he looks like he's dead again. Luis Martinez, the reliever, dead for the year.
Roberto Martinez, the former Wigan manager, now Belgium manager. Sorry, I mean starter pitcher for the Monkeys.
Yeah, you gotta scroll. Yeah, there you go. If you scroll down there, Luis Martinez is injured in AAA. He might have been sent there to do a conditioning stint, and then just like died again.
It normally tells you though in the IL if he's doing a conditioning stint. So I think he's actually in the AAA.
Oh well, that's fun. To have a $600 million budget, hey?
Oh yeah. I'm sure Yeti's gonna be fine. He's just gonna like trade a second for another like deep solid starter because he has about 500 million spare budget.
Yeah, I will say the game doesn't like his system as much as it used to do. You know, like when you take a look at that, like there's a lot of red spots. Like unless he's able to make some significant adds in the way that he is accustomed, meaning discoveries, it could be problematic.
I mean, you know it's bad if your system is below the Bears.
Especially with the Bears trading all their picks. But
yeah, especially when the Bears are trading all their picks, and the Bears also play all their prospects as soon as they look reasonably solid.
There you go. Anyways, where
though, but by the time it comes out, I will probably be below the Monkeys.
Oh, probably. We'll get another few discoveries, don't you worry.
Oh, I know.
Anyways, let's do our next one. What do you got here?
Right. So my down is New Jersey.
Oh, yeah. Go off, King. What's wrong with New Jersey?
I just don't think they're gonna do any. Well, I think soon they're gonna do something because they have a 4.5 star starter prospect in the AAA and 5-star catcher prospect in AAA. But is that gonna be enough in the future? Like they've always been like pretty decent. They've always like tested between like third, fourth, like pushing the envelope. I think they've on occasion taken the wildcard spot from Montreal when they've eventually choked out after All-Star games, you know.
Yeah, what if I told you that I think that they've been a little unlucky so far this year in results? Because
it sounds about right. you know what I'm like. I look at things and go, yeah, don't like that team. Fuck 'em.
I'm just looking at them right now, and
Because I've sort of did it the opposite to you, where rather than looking long term, I'm looking at like this season.
oh yeah,
you know?
20 games. There you go. I'm just looking at them right now. Their pitching has been really strong. Like they're second in runs against in the VL right now, and their hitting has been sixth. So when you look and you're like, okay, so they're exactly middle of the pack hitting right now, and they have the second best pitching, and you're like, oh, they're 11-13. That seems low. It seems low. Like it seems like that, just on the basis of what their production has been so far. And then you look at the Pythag, and you're like, yeah, okay, -2. That tracks.
See, I think you'd look at New Jersey and you would expect the opposite. I think you would expect the pitching to be a little bit weaker, and their batting to be a little bit stronger.
You forgot though, they made another trade with Castlegar, so they got that Angus Goodwin guy, and he's been pretty good for them so far. Like not an ace, but like he's been solid. I think that their pitching maybe doesn't get the respect it normally would, because they have a weird park. Like they got a weird.
Oh yeah, they got the what you call it park, haven't they?
Yeah, stupid Fenway, or whatever it is.
Yeah, that one.
But I mean, like Noel Jansen's having a real good year. Navarra's a good young pitcher. Like there's some talent there. I think there's reason to like their pitching staff a fair amount. But like, yeah, it's not the perfect staff, but it's solid. There's reason to like it.
I think it's a decent start, but it's not as good as it's currently playing out for.
Yeah, I don't think it's the second best pitching staff in the VL.
Yeah, I think it's more middle of the pack, maybe.
I don't know. It's probably like if you look at it, I think it's better than Rain Cities.
I
think Werfel is probably the best pitcher on either team, but I mean, like,
I think I prefer Rain City's pitching over New Jersey.
if I have to win a playoff series, I prefer Rain Cities. If I need to go into the season for 160 games, New Jersey's.
But you have to remember though, the old cliche: we take one game at a time.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, I'm just looking and I'm like, maybe Sunnyvale's. Sunnyvale's is probably better. Yeah, you look at Sunnyvale's, their rotation's probably better. I think Montreal's is better. I think
Got
Monkeys is better. So, like, if we're kind of slotting them in, like about fourth best rotation.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think.
I would note.
The other rotations is the men's are okay. I don't think the men's are that bad of a rotation.
40% of it's injured now.
Yeah, that's true. 40% of the men's it is injured now. Beijing's okay.
Yeah, they're okay.
Not great. Woodcocks.
Beijing's integrating some younger guys into their rotation right now.
Yeah, and I don't think they're. I think they're pretty decent though. I think they're close to like that New Jersey level, maybe even probably
I think
equal.
they're a tier down. I think they're helped out a lot by their park.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, you have to take the park into consideration, but I don't think they're that far off. You know, I think they're like one.
Yeah, it's mid tier.
Good picture.
Yeah,
you
okay.
know?
Anyways, let's do our next down. We've now hosted New Jersey. I say Halifax, and I know it's such a surprising one, but I mean, like, Halifax, everything was going good. They made the World Series. They upset the Monkeys. Things was going good. Take a look at Jose Lara. Typical bullshit. Guy at 40 just completely starts falling off. There's been a significant decline between even like last year's playoffs and now. He's lost.
Man reaches the Big 4-0 and has decided to stop playing baseball.
Yeah, well, if you look, his season hasn't gone very well. He's got hurt again. He should still be able to hit a bit. Like, those hitting it's not the worst hitting. Especially if you look at the splits, like he should be able to beat righties a bit. Like, no reason he shouldn't be good versus righties. I think there was a couple other guys that got a little bit older. Like Vigar Nielsen hasn't been good yet since being acquired from Zurich. Like, I always thought Nielsen was a bit of a scrub. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, when I was complaining about my playoff series versus Zurich, I'm like, oh cool, Vigar Nielsen's hit 3 home runs. You know?
Yeah, that's when you know it's bad.
Well, the guy's career high is 5 homers in 146 games. Dude hit like 3 against me in one 5-game playoff series. It didn't even go 5 games. So like, yeah, Vigar Nielsen is he's a glove first guy. He's a good character guy. He puts the ball in play, but like he's never been good offensively. He's had 2 seasons where he approached good, but like glove is where his value is. Yeah, so there's some of that, right? Kawicki's still very good. Yang is still very good. I expect a couple of those guys to be good. I think Ryan Morley could fall off any day. Like the hitting is already trailed off quite a bit. But like he's a very good fielder, but like he could fall off. I'm just looking at the team a bit here. I think
It's very split, that lineup in how in good and the bad.
yeah. Well, we'll see where it goes too, right? Like he's got some money tied up. I think there was another old guy that was getting worse, like Brad Parker. Yeah, Brad Parker's basically done. But like he's declined a bit too, and he's hurt again now for 10 months. Like that's unfortunate. That's a legend for the team. You know, Voldemar Embrechts was really good for Halifax last year in limited time. He's been really good for Halifax, but he got hurt. He's wrecked. He's on a DL stint right now, but he could come back. But like, this is a team in transition. Jose Macias is pretty much done now too. That dude's making $13 million. He's a captain, but like he can't hit enough to keep his place in the lineup. He's basically done.
No, he's just there for the captaincy.
Looks like he sent down his shortstop too. Like just sent him down.
Yeah. Oh no, shortstop Josh.
Amdahl's the one I'm talking about. He's got like Diego Figueroa.
Oh yeah,
I don't know why he sent Amdahl down.
You never know. As his reasons.
I mean, he's 22 and very, very, very good with the glove. And he hits at least as good as Vigar Nielsen. Could be a service time thing, or that he had options remaining. That's quite possible. But yeah, Halifax, I think, is on a precipice. I think he does enough good work in his drafting and trades and free agency that I don't think he's going to take a real drop for too long. I think he tends to do, like, he reads the tea leaves pretty quick. And if he thinks he's done, he kind of punts, sells off a couple pieces, and then rebounds the following year. That's my spiel.
Joel, you only get 2 years of Halifax missing out on something, and then they'll be back.
Yep. All right, who else we got?
Yeah. Ooh, I've got LA.
LA, which is weird because LA's got a 14-10 record. Be a second in.
Let's be honest. We were looking through we were sort of looking through the stats earlier. You're yelling me stats whilst I was knocking this up slightly. LA have been adopting the peaking bullshit on a significant level beyond one can comprehend. You know.
Yeah, I just look at those arms, and there's no reason why they should have the second fewest runs against. Like, they didn't add anybody. Like, Eric Kim is good. He hasn't had amazing years in the past, but he's been good before. That if you said Eric Kim is having a good year, I'd be like, yeah, sure, good. But like Neil Boyer is kind of a scrub, 31 years old, never really done a lot.
None of these players are like anything. I like.
But I mean, like with the 9th best run scored to date through those 2 weeks, you just kind of wonder about that, you know. And with Kaz Tehui's out, That's a high upside younger arm. With that dude being out, like I don't think this rotation's gonna hold. I don't think this bullpen is gonna hold. Like yeah, especially with the offense. Like there's a couple good pieces here, but for like Fernando Gonzalez coming in, he's very good. Young Min, very good, one of the best outfielders in the game. Kurt Mick, still a power threat. I think he's not. I think he's probably past his best years of contributing. Eric Anderson's essentially washed up. The shortstop is a good glove, but like I don't know, man. I don't think these guys are gonna. Duarte's a good glove. There's a lot of glove first guys here.
Yeah, there's a reason why that's the reason why they're first in defensive efficiency, aren't they? Like, yeah. It's a very glove heavy.
Yeah.
Team.
So like, yeah, I think I also was looking. What did I say about them? Didn't they have like a really? Yeah, they have the second lowest pitching BABIP.
Yeah.
After Beijing, and they're only 2 points off of Beijing's, and like we can look at that. We go, yeah, Beijing always has a low pitching BABIP. It's the park they play in, right?
Yeah.
Or I think it suppresses that kind of stuff for Beijing.
It's sort of similar in LA, but not to the significant levels of Beijing.
Yeah. Well,
like you can get a few more singles, doubles, extra base hits at LA, but
yeah. So like I don't think the pitching's gonna hold up long term. So like if you wanted to say that they're a down, I think they're an up in the sense that they've burned it down. They burned it down. It has been burnt. They have a couple contracts they're waiting out. And they've got a bunch of young prospects. They have one of the best prospect pools in the game. And it's just a matter of time before they're integrating guys like Thomas Knudsen or Brody Mant. Like, so these guys look pretty much ready at age 21. That was a 6th rounder, Brody Mant. That's phenomenal. He looks really good. But like they've got some guys that are going to break through, I think, once they're done learning to bunt. And
it's not long till the Blazers are going to be truly something. But at the moment,
at the moment, the future's not now, but they're having a nice start. We'll give credit where it's due. Nice start.
No start.
Okay.
But I don't think it's going to last long.
Let's do next.
Right.
Oh.
You have Wuhan.
I have Wuhan. Yeah, Wuhan's kind of sucks now. Part of it is, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention this. Part of it is very much that they are very injured. Very injured.
Mm-hmm.
They're missing like 3 guys from the starting rotation. Mustang should be back soon, and that'll help for some consistency. But like you can't lose those guys and just keep going without missing a beat. Hegon Park appears washed up. Good thing this is his last season of that contract. Ivar Jessen out for most of the season. Rich Jimenez out for most of the season. That's going to sting. And you haven't seen those gains in offense. Offensively, Bobby Ragusa should be fine. Should be good. Should be fun. Moreno is a fun player. He's kind of Jason Hayward, classic Jason Hayward. Ryan Frost is a really exciting hitter. Brett Gurley is probably the best second baseman in the CL. But like it's just not enough to sustain them in this division. So he racked with injuries. Don't have the budget for depth. Down. They're tracking down.
Yeah, I think another thing would be their team doesn't look great at all, to be honest.
There's elements there that I like.
There's elements that are there, but it's like
To me, they're not a true basement team. But like, there's a lot.
They're middle of the pack.
Yeah. I think there's going to be some help coming. Like they look like they got a couple good prospects in the pipeline, but they're also like, yeah. Sorry. I keep coughing. But they're definitely bottom third. They're bottom third for prospect pool. So like, they do have a couple guys. I'd be lying if I was saying that they don't have some guys that could be good. But like, they aren't what they used to be. All right.
Pyongyang.
Let's do this.
Both have
Both have
Pyongyang.
it. Do you want to take it away to start?
Well, there was a trade that happened earlier.
Of course. There go the Bears.
Boyat
Yafrakov.
Yakupov has gone to the Bears for 2 firsts, a second, and Stefan Sanchez.
It's a pretty good prospect.
Okay.
Pretty good prospect for a guy that was picked not highly touted, but he's been good.
Yes. A solid 7th round prospect from the
Yeah,
Bears.
he looks good. He's got a Swiss Army knife, good work ethic. He's got the stamina,
4
like
pitches,
some
left-handed.
control and movement upside. Like, big fan. I think I like that prospect a lot. Yafrakov is interesting because he comes hurt. Do you want to comment on that, Bear? Why that was a good move for you to make?
Well, he's supposed to be out for 3 to 4 days.
I have oblique strain, unknown end date.
I got told it's 3 to 4 days.
Okay.
If it's not 3 to 4 days, there will be words.
This was an interesting one because I got Yafrakov from Bats. Like, that was the return with a draft pick for a couple of my guys. And then I flipped him for Jose Lara to Beijing, who flipped him to Cape Breton, who flipped him to Pyongyang, who's now flipped him to you. So he's been around. He's been around.
Man's been traveling.
Yeah, but he's got 3 playoff MVPs, 4-time All-Star, Silver Slugger. He's been pretty good. Everyone hates him.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone hates him. But
Nobody wants him.
he's 29 and has 251 career home. Yeah, it's not enough that my voice has to be
Home runs.
I couldn't even get it out. I just had it. Yeah, it's good.
You just went.
So the reason I say it's a down for Pyongyang is because I think this signals that their intent is, and I know Thaner from the EHL leagues. He's a big draft and develop guy. He likes to draft. He likes to pick his teams. I think that's one of the things he likes the very most about these games. So I expect him to probably move a couple more pieces. They still have, even without Yafrakov, they still have a very good team. They did pick up that first baseman from Sunnyvale, Jose Ramirez. He's a former All-Star. He should be at least a cromulent placeholder. Zorya Iratov should be fine. Marco Niabs is still there. Luke Feliz. Rob Barrett has been really good as a shortstop. Esteban Tenori. Tenori is unfair at age 22 already. So, like, there's some good pieces still present in Pyongyang. And their pitching. Their pitching is better than people give it credit for. Like, it's irritating because everybody always looks like they often at the end of the year, you're like, dude's got a 6 ERA. But, like, the next year he'll have a 2. Lots of variability. Someone is always an ace on this rotation, and someone's always kind of scrubby. We'll see what happens with it.
Yeah. It's one of those rotations where you look at the player and go, I can probably hit him maybe, and then
It's one of those ones, like Castle.
you get no hitted by him, and you just go, oh.
Yeah, I get frustrated with it because it's a rotation that looks very similar to Castlegar's. There's not anyone you go, oh, that guy's an ace. That guy, I gotta watch out for that game. But you got 5 guys there or 4 guys there that can beat you any night. Like, It's frustrating to deal with, but there it is. Anyways, as the voters predicted, David Gomez off to a very, very slow start. The 2042 Napolio winner. He looks trash. But anyways, yeah, Pyongyang's one that we both agreed. Down.
Yep. I think there might be some more moves depending on if other people decide to fight. Yeah.
That's a bold move, trading all your first bear.
We know what I'm like. I'm basically the LA Chargers?
You gotta...
No, LA Rams. The LA Rams who like to trade all their firsts.
You made this trade and you were sub 500. Sub 500 when you made the trade.
I believe in myself.
Yep.
Up the Bears. We're finally gonna make the playoffs.
We'll see. Fingers crossed. Here comes 5th place New Forest.
2nd place New Forest. Let's go. Rob hands.
All right. So, do we have anybody else?
I mean,
we have any other downs?
No, that was all of it, innit? New Jersey, LA, Halifax, Wuhan, and Pyongyang. Was what we had. Is there any other team you'd like to talk about?
Let's take a look. I think I just said Minneapolis was an honorable down for me. I think, again, this year, the button isn't up. It's always trending up, the button.
The button. Yep.
I mean, like, some teams...
I have a very good relationship with the button.
Some teams have really already been hit with it. Like, not to poor me, but I mean, like, Castlegar's missing 3 relievers, 2 starting outfielders, and they got a guy playing through injuries at first. Like, they've already got 5 injuries. It's it's how she goes, but like, there you go. There's I think Kirkland's got a handful of injuries. Like, there's some teams that have definitely had a couple.
Oh, the Bears are top.
Uh-oh.
The Woodcocks are top of the Hero Spammer division now, as the sim comes through.
Well, there you go. Button still trending upwards.
The button is still trending upwards.
Let's flash over to the Scotia. Let's do the Scotia standings.
The Scotia standings, right? But current Scotia standings, or what? The new Scotia standings, or the old ones?
Current.
Current, right? I need
sorry, the ones before. But I just mean it honestly doesn't matter. It just throw up whatever standings you want, because I'm basically.
Those ones are easier.
Okay. So if we just take a look at those, there's the Scotia standings. You look at that. Hilarious. Looks like Roberto Martinez got hurt again this sim. That's going on as we talk. Monkeys, man.
Let's have a gander.
Let's have a gander. Looks.
Toby Martinez has been injured.
Oh no. Another Martinez.
That's an Iron Man player, though.
I thought I saw Roberto was hurt.
Roberto Martinez is now out for 8 months with a torn flexor tendon in his elbow.
Oh my god. Street clothes at it again. Street clothes at it again.
Street clothes at it again.
Holy shit. We should just be live simming these. We should be live podcasting the live sims. His live commentary. Oh, there he is again, isn't it? What a disgrace. What a disgrace. Just a disgraceful performance. But you look at the standings there in the Scotia. You've got like a couple games separating everybody. Like, I think the button is going to matter a lot. Some luckiness or unluckiness as well. Like, I don't know. Peking, I think, is the best team in that division. I think you could throw a blanket over Castlegar Zurich. I think Zurich's luckier for sure.
Yeah, I think Peking top, Zurich's Castlegar, Motor City, LA Redondo Beach. That's the Scotia.
I think Travdondo is probably the 4th best team in that division.
You reckon?
I think so. I don't know. I'm not a big Motor City believer. Like,
the only thing I think will carry Motor City is Pete Beasley is an absolute stud.
He is, but I mean, like, and Melker Bachfist was good last year. Dave Garza has been good before. Like, I like that as a low cost, high upside. But like, yeah, it's wild. It's wild that, like, you look at those teams, you're like, I think, and especially when Motor City's 17-13, LA's 16-14, like, those teams are 2 games behind Castlegar. Like, I think Castlegar is much better on paper, but they're missing 2 starting outfielders and 3 relievers already. Like, but the button could make an impact. The button could make an impact here. Like, if Peking loses 2 Ross, like, okay, maybe not Peking. Zurich loses a couple starters. What happens to the standings? Yep. You know, like, they've been without Fernando Rico for with a fractured foot so far this year. Alex Rodriguez, Sluggo. He's had a little bit of he's had some day-to-day injuries. Like, if they lost those 2 players, where does that land? They could finish 4th. if Castlegar doesn't get it together with some of their stuff and their performance, missing those players, if they can't keep the ship afloat and more injuries pile up, that team could finish fourth. Like, this is a tight division. I think the button has a big impact on that. We'll see where it goes. For first-time viewers or listeners, the button is what we refer to the commissioner hitting said button that causes injury.
Yeah, I know the button too well.
Yep.
Roy Olney, career ends in injury with a partially torn UCL. Matt Hicks out 14 months.
So I would like just to say, I may have lost all my games to the Monkeys, but I did kill Roberto Martinez once again. It took a...
Your Castlegar team's on a killing spree, aren't they?
Well, everyone dies in Castlegar, but like, I took someone with me.
You made Roy Olney have a career-ending injury, and now you've taken out Roberto Martinez.
Yeah.
Players literally come to Castlegar to die.
Well, I will be, to be fair, I will note that my team...
I have updated standards.
My team is very, they require home runs to generate offense. Like, it is an important element. I don't have a lot of contact hitters. And another element for mine is a lot of high I types, guys that'll take a walk. The Monkeys have a very advanced rotation. They don't give up a ton of walks overall. And we had to play in Minneapolis. The stadium suppresses homers. Left-handed batters only 0.87. Right-handed batters 0.9. Like, me having to go to Minneapolis to play against an all-lefty lineup and have home runs suppressed and with a bunch of guys that don't walk anybody. I don't know what I'm supposed to do against Juan Rodriguez. You know?
What do I do versus the Monkeys?
I don't know what I can do against Brian Berg, because his one weakness is he can be dinger prone. You know? But
then you go to the Monkeys and you're fucked.
Yeah. I think if they were playing in my park, I think we could have salvaged a split. But it is what it is. They're a good team. They have been a good team. They're always a good team.
Right. I've put up the updated standings from the most recent season.
Let's see them.
The Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Not a single
Everybody
team.
in that division is below .500.
I hate this division. So, okay, this is a good segue. Good segue time. Let's we'll do this quick, and then we'll veer into this, and then we'll make the announcement, and then we'll wrap her up. Okay.
Yep.
Realignment's happening. There, I ripped that band-aid off, buddy. Realignment's happening. The people...
Realignment is going to happen.
They voted for it. Realignment's happening. I was somebody who was against it. I don't know that I should be looking at these fucking standings, but, like, come on. Get your shit together, Mickey Mouse. You're making everyone else look shit. Like, look at some of these bloodbaths in the other divisions, and the Mickey Mouse is like, you take the spot. Like, fucking Woohead's tied for first. They're punishing you for me saying it's a down. But,
I mean, I did have Yak then, so...
you don't have Yak now.
I have Yak now, so I can put Yak in.
Yeah, but he hasn't played a damn game for you.
I know, so I'm hoping that will push me ahead.
Degree of separation. We'll see. Maybe he has an oblique strain. Oh, looks like...
Wait, I can see how long he's injured for, actually. The man is fit again. Man can play. It's all good.
Looks like Tony, looks like Tony Pearson died too.
Oh no. Rest in peace, good sir. Tony Pearson, where is he? Tony Pearson not known yet. Beijing. Tony Pearson out for 3 months. He's not dead.
Okay.
So he's 3 months.
Only 3.
Right. So my view on the alignment was I wanted to keep the status quo because I like my division because everyone's got paid.
Yeah.
Or geographic alignment.
So the last time we did a realignment, the first place teams made a draft They drafted players.
Yep.
Or teams, rather. So I have to thank Craig. I think it was Craig who picked the Scotia.
Yeah, Craig beat the Scotia.
Motor City has been stuck since. Like, not to say there haven't been some questionable decisions, but I mean, like, you look and you're like, and Motor City used to make the playoffs all the time. And you look back at how the divisions were when they were making, and they were second behind Boston in a division that had, like, Soviet and, like, Isle of Man.
Isle of Man, Bears, Boston.
There you go. That's why Motor City was making the playoffs then.
And Motor City.
And then you drop them in the division that had, like, a very aggressive Washington team that became LA. Had Castlegar, Oslo / Zurich, Peking. Like, all right, good luck.
Yeah, enjoy this one.
Wow.
Yeah, and then you got the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, which Trav drafted, and it put New Forest, Wuhan, Kitchener, Soviets, and the then was it Seoul Games? I don't know. I can't remember. It's some Korea bullshit, you know.
Yeah.
And now it's an absolute clusterfuck of a division, and that's how I like to see it.
As you should. Really, at the end of the day. I will note.
So hopefully,
this was a development sim, so a lot of people are getting some development updates.
Yeah, that's true. I'll have a look at mine after this sim, but hopefully we all vote for geographical realignment. So me, Zurich, Kiev, and the Isle of Man all together. I cannot wait to come second and miss playoff every season.
Yeah, well, I'm super stoked to be, if you do geographic. Despite being a Pacific time zone team, everyone's given me the Arizona Coyotes thing, and they're shifting me into the Central, so I have to go up against the Monkeys.
Enjoy your trip to Minneapolis 4 times a year.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty, but like, what are you gonna do, right? Like, someone's gotta go over there.
Yeah, someone has to endure the Monkeys. I know people have been memeing about being called the Manchester Monkeys or the Newcastle Neons or whatever, just to meme on the potential European division because of the Isle of Man, the Bears, Kiev, you know.
Yeah. But
it'll be interesting what happens at the end of the year, you know, the change into 3 divisions with 4 teams, I think it is.
I scored 1 run in 3 games versus the Monkeys.
That's not bad. At least it's 1 run, not 0.
Yeah, I guess 2 shutouts. Fuck off. I wonder how many walks I drew.
I went 2 and 4 this sim, I think.
I drew 7 walks in 3 games.
1 and 2 against Beijing, 1 and 2 against Rain City. Yeah.
There you go. Can't do anything about it. But yeah, we're looking at probably doing realignment. I was probably happy to leave it the way it is. Continue with some historic rivalries instead. I don't even know who's going to be in the Central. Minneapolis.
Well, I can find it for you. Give me a sec.
Yeah. Well, there's some very clear Atlantic teams, right? So you look and you're like, okay, well, Cape Breton, Halifax, Sunnyvale, those are all probably 1 division, you know. There's a bunch of teams that are in Asia, so you're going to see Beijing, Peking, Pyongyang, Wuhan, all in 1 division. That's the true. That's like, I can complain about Minneapolis, but like, yeah.
I found it. So the Pacific Division, Rain City, Kirkland, LA, and Redondo Beach.
Yep.
Central Division, Minneapolis, Springfield, Hannibal, and Castlegar. The Asian Division, Pyongyang, Peking, Beijing, and Wuhan. The Atlantic Division, Halifax, Sunnyvale, Cape Breton, and Newfoundland. European Division, New Forest, Isle of Man, Kiev. And the Eastern Division, Montreal, New Jersey, Motor City, and Kitchener.
Yeah. Well, it's not completely competitive balance, but like, what are you gonna do, right? Like, honestly.
But I think some of those divisions might be pretty competitive.
Yeah, like the Asian division is gonna be a bloodbath.
I think Atlantic could potentially be with the Woodcuts and the Growlers slowly making their rises.
Pyongyang's selling though, and Wuhan is on a down cycle. Like, maybe it's not as much of a bloodbath as I think.
It's not going to be as bad, but I think eventually it will become a bloodbath.
Yeah, could be.
The Central Division is going to be entertaining.
I'm not a big fan of it, but whatever.
The European Division is going to be an absolute shit show.
It's funny because with the Central, you have 3 people that have parks that are home run friendly, and then Minneapolis where it's specifically aimed at deadening them. And like the thing is, we'll adjust tactics to deal with the lefty pitchers and whatnot. Like that will become an adjustment. It's just like, yeah, it could be a rough year or 2 while you're making that adjustment.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking at these and it's like I just see. Yeah. Every division you kind of have an idea who's going to go 1-2, I think.
What would if you had to make predictions then? What would be your 1-2 in each division?
I think Sunnyvale, Halifax.
Yeah.
I think Zurich, New Forest. I think Montreal, Kitchener. I think Rain City, Kirkland. Though Redondo, I think, is closer to that than we would admit. Minneapolis,
Yep.
Castlegar, and then like Peking, and then whoever.
Pyongyang probably. I don't think Pyongyang are better than Beijing and Wuhan at the moment still.
Yeah, but I'm anticipating there being a bunch of moves to come.
Oh yeah, of course. I think it'll probably be Beijing second in that division.
We'll see. Hey, we can't just be like, well, we're expecting him to sell. He may not get the value for the pieces that he's trying to hawk, right? And that would change how things go.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Oh man, Aaron Yoder's back in 6 weeks.
Are you happy?
Yeah, well, I think given that the man has 65 range, I think he can play center field a bit. Helps guard me against like the Vargas injury or Cato being shitty. I don't know. I just I think Yoder, it helps me a lot versus lefties.
Oh shit!
What?
I forgot to press start record. Whoops.
You're a madman.
It's fine.
You're a madman.
I can wangle it out though.
Okay. Well, we got some hot takes. We got some. Hey, let's do some real hot takes. Let's do a quick fire real hot take. So let's look at some of the outliers, like some of the people that are hitting the very best. And we'll say,
Hey, Breton are gonna finish third in the Heroes Final Division.
holy shit, look at you go. So, okay, I'll take a look at the standings. Whoa, what the hell happened? Why is Cape Breton first?
Yeah, exactly, mate. That's why I reckon Cape Breton are gonna somehow make it to third.
Oh my god. Well, it's all coming together, baby. Okay, well,
Cape
can I
Breton.
revise my answer for the
Breton.
Atlantic Division?
Go on.
Cape Breton won. No. I don't know about Springfield. We'll see. The pitching's been really, really good. We'll see how that holds up. And if you have really, really good pitching, you can probably get by without the best offense.
Oh yeah, certainly. I have proven that you can't get by with a bad pitch and a good offense.
I will note that Springfield has a negative run difference. I know, run difference cucks, Imba. But I think there's still some work to be done there. Taking a look at the others, like, I still think, like, Minneapolis got through. They did not score a lot of runs versus me, but they didn't allow anything. So it was like, they scored 11 runs in 3 games. That's not amazing. They allowed 1, and that is amazing. But, like, there's still negative run difference. I think that's going to correct itself. But, I mean, like, Montreal, how is Montreal going to get squeezed by the Woodcocks? Fuck me. Nothing makes sense anymore.
I was right about Cape Breton on the up.
Zurich. Already +3 on the Pythag.
Yeah. The Scotia, +4, +3, +2, +1.
Oh, you skipped somebody there, Bear.
Yeah, you know, it's the 2 teams that don't have a positive. I'm playing Castlegar and Redondo.
Yeah. Sad. You hate to see it.
You hate
to see it. Ah, well. I was looking at some individual performances, and I wanted to ask your thoughts on it. So, like, let's go with this. Paul Tofting. MVP season? Question mark.
I reckon so. I think if he keeps going the way he is, I reckon he'll get to about 8 more, and that's normally generally an MVP level season, isn't it?
Jung-Hoo Kim. Where do you think he ends?
He played well, considering his home park's Castlegar, and man can hit as many home runs as he fancies. I reckon that guy's gonna hit what, 50 home runs maybe. I reckon he'll get to 6-7 more season.
I will note that Castlegar's park effects for left-handed batters are essentially neutral.
Right. I reckon he's gonna like triple his best WAR at Castlegar, which is 2.2.
I will note that was his best WAR because he missed
3/4 of the season.
No, actually, never mind. No, his best in Castlegar is 1.7. Last year he only played 60 games, had 1.1 WAR.
I got. Oh no, this season.
He's already at career high.
he's already ahead of his best season.
But like, do you think he keeps it up?
I think he'll keep it up for a solid period. The fact that he gets to play quite Remote City, LA, and Redondo Beach in the Scotia, and then he's got the select of the Mickey Mouse teams. I think he's gonna have a very good time.
Fair enough. Carlos Aguilar.
You're trying to find player and then just click and have a look. Carlos Aguilar.
Aguilar. What do you think?
I think he'll have another good productive season. I reckon so. I reckon it'll shine back to the good old days, you know, when he was at Springfield.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I think by the end of the year might be some regression, specifically defensively. But I think
I don't reckon he's gonna. I don't reckon so defensively.
Right.
I'd be more concerned about his hitting if I was Oliver Bambino.
Here's my hot take. Arturo Velez is top 5 in MVP votes. I don't even think that's a hot take. I think Arturo Velez is part of the reason Springfield is where they are. And when they have an uncharacteristically strong season, I think he's going to garner some MVP votes.
Oh yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, let's take a look at pitching for a second and see what we got here.
So pitching, Al Flores. What's your thoughts on Al Flores for the Bears?
Well, I think he's been good before.
Yeah.
I think he's been okay before. I think he's been relatively.
His best season was when he was 28 at New Jersey with an ERA plus of minus 111 and WAR of 4.5.
I say he could do it. He could do it, especially if the Bears' defense is good. And he's a ground ball guy. If he stays healthy, I think he could do it. Next hot take I've got. Juan Martinez is not going to lead in pitching WAR by the end of the year. Overall, I mean, like in his league even.
What? You mean Juan Rodriguez?
Juan Rodriguez, the chosen one.
Yeah.
No way.
No. You reckon might top the pitching WAR?
I think Kai Cherry. I'm getting a good feeling, good read on Kai Cherry this year. I also think Juan Rodriguez.
The guy from the Isle of Man who's wrecked.
No, Kai Cherry from Montreal.
Yeah, he's wrecked. He's from Isle of Man.
Oh, never mind that. Yeah, but again, I don't know if he plays the entire season. I just think Juan Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's definitely got a good chance if he survives the season. Well, I've seen Harry Hayes survive.
I just don't buy that Juan Rodriguez is going to keep getting away with it. Like, there's no way.
You sound like that angry man who shakes his fist in the air and go, "You won't get away with it."
He's got one pitch left. Like he basically just shut me down, but like, I don't know, man. He can't keep doing it.
He's just relying on his power movement at this point, I think.
Well, which are really good. Those are really good ratings to have.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I just mean like.
But I feel like that's what he's relying on at this point, isn't it? He's just throwing the fastball, and because he can't be hit I
take it back.
He's not going to give away
I
walks.
take it back. This dickhead just gained velocity. Look at it.
What?
Juan Rodriguez at age 33 just went from 97 to 99 to 98 to 100.
I've got the other way around. Mine's gone from 98 to 100 to 97 to 99.
That was November. I haven't updated scouting in May.
Oh, I don't have that updated yet. My scout is slow.
Fucking ridiculous.
The monkeys BS, that's all it is.
Pretty much. But hey, I think we kind of touched on a lot of things. We grazed the discussion on redefining the division boundaries. I think 3 divisions could be fun.
I can see it being very enjoyable.
Yeah, but I think it should be an interesting season. The Bears going for it again. Dwayne Watts, Gar legend, player of the week.
Man's a machine, what can I say?
Yeah, but anyways, thanks for joining me, sir. Thanks for making it on your time there. And
Don't worry, Splat.
until next time.
Next time.
This has been the RFBL Report with Bear and Bagdowski. To find out more about the RFBL, including stats and history, you can go to statsplus.net/RFBL. To find more episodes of the RFBL Report, you can go to Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Buzzsprout, and YouTube.